Hello, my friend. Welcome to Reflections and Music, praying with singers, sinners, and saints. Henri Nouwen, one of my favorite authors on the spiritual life, was born in the Netherlands on January the 24th, 1932. He was ordained a Catholic priest for the Archdiocese of Utrecht on July 21st, 1957. With an eagerness to learn more about himself and the people he counseled, Nouwen studied psychology instead of theology. He sought to use psychology as a means of exploring the human side of faith, which he felt was being overlooked in theological discussions. Nouwen, in his thesis work, focused on Anton Boysen, an American minister credited with founding the clinical pastoral education movement. After moving to the United States, Nouwen studied for 2 years as a fellow in the Religion and Psychiatry program at the Menninger Clinic in Topeka, Kansas. While there, he began to engage with social and political happenings, including the Civil Rights Movement, and in 1965 traveled to Selma, Alabama to march with Martin Luther King and many others on the long road from Selma to Montgomery. Over the years, Nouwen was a professor at Notre Dame, Yale, and Harvard Divinity Schools. Throughout his teaching career, he took several sabbaticals, including a several months stay at the Abbey of the Genesee in upstate New York, where he kept a journal that was published as Genesee Diary, Report from a Trappist Monastery. He returned again after the death of his mother, which led to the publication of A Cry for Mercy, Prayers from the Genesee. He took a 6-month trip to South America to live among the poor in Bolivia and Peru, and from this experience published a book titled Gracias, a Latin American journal, in which he pondered the presence of God in the poor, the challenge of a persecuted church, the relationship between faith and justice, and his own struggle to discern the path along which God was calling him. Nouwen also spent 9 months with the L'Arche community in France, a community of people with and without intellectual disabilities who share life together. Eventually, Nouwen walked away from the academic world in 1986 to live at the L'Arche Daybreak community in Toronto, where his full-time job became taking care of a severely disabled young man named Adam, and where he would spend the last 10 years of his life. Nouwen published 39 books and authored hundreds of articles. His books have sold over 7 million copies worldwide and have been published in more than 30 languages. In a survey conducted by Christian Century magazine in 2003, Nouwen's work was indicated as a first choice of authors for Catholic and mainline Protestant clergy. His books include The Wounded Healer, The Life of the Beloved, and The Way of the Heart, along with what is recognized as one of his most popular books, as well as my favorite, The Return of the Prodigal Son. Knowing that he was such a popular author who was originally from the Netherlands, I went into a bookstore when I visited Amsterdam. I asked the clerk, "Do you have any books by Henri Nouwen?" "Never heard of him," he rudely replied. "I guess the saying of Jesus is true. A prophet is not without honor, except in his own country." I'll never forget visiting the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia, that exhibits Rembrandt's painting of the Prodigal Son. Nouwen wrote his book, The Return of the Prodigal Son, after visiting the museum and spending hours in meditation in front of the painting. When I visited, a large crowd came up with a Russian guide who pointed to the painting and briefly told the story of the prodigal son, and concluded by saying, "So the moral of the story is, it doesn't pay to be good." If Henri Nouwen had been there, he would have no doubt vehemently protested and said, "No, that's not the meaning of the story at all. It's about the merciful Father and the great love He has for His beloved Son." If there is one theme that permeates Nouwen's books, especially his later works, it is simply this: we are the beloved children of God. Over and over he writes about this belovedness. Perhaps he did so because in some ways he was a wounded man himself with great internal struggles, and thus his need to consistently and continually write about living and accepting his belovedness. As Nouwen wrote, to pray, that is, to listen to the voice of the one who calls us the beloved, is to learn that that voice excludes no one. Where I dwell, God dwells with me, and where God dwells with me, I find all my sisters and brothers. Intimacy with God and solidarity with all people are two aspects of dwelling in the present moment that can never be separated. This message of belovedness is one that bears repeating. As Victoria Williams sings in her song, "You are loved. You are loved. You are really loved."
You are loved, you are loved.